Alright guys, so here we are. I have these two crepe myrtles in which I have already pruned. This is the end of October, so now I think is an excellent time to prune. When you do not want to prune is around the beginning of spring, because crepe myrtles generally will bloom on their new growth. So whatever they grow in the beginning of spring is what is going to be blooming at the end of spring, middle of summer. All of this stuff was grown this year, you see, is now going to seed. So now is a great time to prune, because you will not reduce the blooming of next year because it hasn't had the chance to grow its new growth. So this stuff will go dormant over the winter season. So anytime between now and even in the middle of winter, these things, it's just hard to kill a crepe myrtle, guys. These are tough plants. They're an excellent addition to the garden because they are beautiful plants. So I do have one or two more around front. The most common way of pruning is leaving the bottom bare of any growth, taking off all the suckers. You see I've done that here. And then also pruning any outward growth is what I generally do. This top of this guy is a little thick. I'll do a little more pruning in here and try to get more of a vertical look on these plants, and that will definitely help. Also, any branches that are crossing, if you have one crossing in front of another, it's always good to get rid of those. That just helps your plant look cleaner. So I'll hop around front here in just a moment and try to show you guys a little bit more about pruning, trimming crepe myrtles. So here we are. We have a few unruly, in need of trimming crepe myrtles. Again, this is well after they've bloomed, they're beginning to go to seed. So now is a good time to trim. They will not be doing any more blooming until next spring. So the first thing that I notice is these bottom, what is called suckers. These are new growth that come from the base of the plant and even on the bottom half of the existing root. Trunk. So I'll be removing all these little suckers, and that will be the first goal. All of these guys. Guys, don't be scared. These things will grow back, okay? The important thing is just to do some trimming on them. So this is actually beneficial to the plant. It may actually even help produce more growth and flowers in this coming spring after these have been trimmed. It does always encourage new growth, and at the end of the day, you just want a healthy plant that looks beautiful, right? That's the goal. So that is what we're going to try to accomplish here with these crepe myrtles. Here we go. So I am amateur at this video stuff, guys, so I don't have tripods, and I'm using my phone, etc. So I'll do my best to get one or two cuts in, just so you guys can see. This is easy, common sense stuff. So, base of the plant. This one here is the first one I see. This is not a good, strong trunk. This is a little bitty sucker. These things grow so fast. This was even probably started this year or last year. So I will be cutting this all the way down right here, as close to the trunk as you can possibly get. Whenever you cut these, you don't want to cut them way out here and then you have this whole entire thing sticking out from the trunk. You want to cut it as close to the trunk as you can get. Not all trees are this way, because with some there is dieback. So with some trees you're not going to do that, but with the crepe myrtle it's fine. Cut it as close to the trunk as you can. Maybe leaving a 1/4 inch or whatever will be fine. It will scab over. These crepe myrtles again are tough, very, very tough trees, and it's hard to hurt them. So the first cut I'm going to be making again is right here. Cut it as close to the trunk again as I can. This is what you don't want. To me, that's just looking a little on the silly side. This is closer to what you will be looking for. This is where the previous person trimmed. This is the part of the trunk that they trimmed off, and that's about what you want. You don't want to have little ugly half-dead sprigs sticking out everywhere. Alright, so I'm gonna get this thing trimmed up. I'll check back continuously so you can see what I'm doing. Alright guys, got some of the big stuff removed. So even with these little guys, like this little bitty thing here, check it out. Done. Some of this little stuff that's going directly off the trunks like this, no problem. Just take it and pull it right off. You can even take your hand, run it down the trunk. This stuff will come right off, guys. So simple, and this is going to make your tree look so much cleaner. And when it blooms, it will just be spectacular. So we're already looking a lot better here. Just making a few adjustments, trimming on a few spots, and it already looks so much better. Alright, and an example of when to cut a main trunk stalk. So this one here is the one I am referring to. This one just jets out this way to the side. I want most of my trunks running vertical, straight up or down, at least as closely as possible. See, this has a small angle, that's fine. This one is just going out a little bit too much for my liking, so I'm going to remove this thing. Originally my thought was here. I think I may just remove it here, leave that. I also see the one there, likely remove that one as well. That will keep this tree tight together and just look so much more uniform, and it will just make your trees look as if someone cares about them. Guys, you gotta love your trees. So again, as I said, these crape myrtles grow on new growth. That means whatever they grow at the beginning of spring, whatever new branches they grow, that is the branches that will be doing the blooming. And these guys grow so fast. Just to give you guys a comparison, these over here in the distance, way out there, that is magnolia trees. So when grown from seed, magnolia trees can take up to 15 years to produce a flower. Crape myrtles, I'm not sure, from seed, maybe 2 or 3. So these things take off, and if you do not jump on them, they will leave you behind. So even this one's a little bit tall for my liking. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a ladder, so I'll have to get back with her to come back and trim the top of this. Originally, I was only supposed to be doing some weeding. She's added a couple things to me, but that's not a problem. I love doing this, guys, with these trees and whatnot. Just an awesome job. I couldn't ask for anything better. Check out the maple. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a tree. How awesome. Also, little known fact here in Tennessee, you can, and sometimes, extract maple syrup from these trees. The temperature has to be right. I think it has to be freezing for a week or two, and then 40 degrees in the day. So you want freezing nights below or on 32 degrees, and then days in around the 40s. And if you have those conditions for, I want to say 10 days, 2 weeks, then that is when these trees are producing their sap, and that's when the maple syrup can be extracted. So I think I'm gonna try to do a little bit of that this winter. Give it a shot anyway, what could it hurt? But anyway, those are just beautiful trees, guys. All right, here we go. Another example of a good branch to remove. Let's see if you can point it out. This guy here. Anything that is crossing over existing branches, or for instance this in the center, you can see how it comes up to the top and it's just dead. There's one twig on the end, but other than that, this whole entire branch here is dead. So I'll also be removing that. We'll be removing this, and this will make our tree look cleaner and more purposeful. It will look as if it was meant to be that way and as if it's been taken care of. So I see a lot of dead stuff here from where people trimmed the end of it, but they didn't trim all the way to the base. So it has killed the branch all the way from here where it was trimmed all the way to where it meets the main trunk. So I'll be getting rid of all this dead stuff. So if you do trim a branch out here, it's likely just to die all the way back down to where it meets the trunk. Same thing if you were to trim this here, it would likely die all the way back down, and then you'd have a big ugly dead branch with no purpose. So another one here, big ugly dead branch with no purpose. Goodness, crape myrtles, put your pants on. Just because you have a bigger trunk than the rest of these guys doesn't mean you have to show it to everyone. Alright guys, here we go. So doesn't that just look so much better? So with the top, crape myrtles can be anywhere from a couple foot tall to 15 to 20 foot tall probably. So it's up to you how you want to trim the top. It's hard to go wrong. Almost whatever you do, new growth will come back. So you can play with that. These I'll probably top off maybe 1 foot from where they are, and then I will kind of give them a bowl cut. So give them a circular cut and then cut a little bit off of the top. So that is how you trim crape myrtles. I hope this stuff helps you out, guys. This is Eric with Mountain Movers in Middle Tennessee. You guys need any help and you live in the area, feel free to give us a call. We'll be happy to help you guys with landscape, handyman services, painting, etc. If you need labor help, then give us a call. Check us out on Facebook. Check out our other YouTube videos. And until next time, we are out.